Hey guys, welcome to Project Homestead. Today we are going to be recreating that casserole I did for Thanksgiving. It's going to be more of like a recipe video today. Then I don't know if you saw that short that I did where I made a dessert that was so good, but it was by accident. We're going to show you today about that dessert. We're going to call it Raspberry Crumble Dream. Frozen raspberry crumble dream. We'll think of a name later. It's delicious, and we're gonna run to the store and get some raspberries. We have everything else we need to make these recipes, and I really hope that you guys try them and that you enjoy them. Okay, we're going into Woolies, which is this store here, and I'm going to look at the jars, and I'm going to grab myself some frozen raspberries. Hopefully they have jars, so I only have to go to one store, but we won't know until we get inside, so let's go. Alright, it doesn't look like they have any jars that I can use. This one right here says use only at room temperature, so that's also not water bath canning. I want to look into getting the Weck jars, which is kind of like this. Is this a Weck jar? Can you can with jars like this? I want to get into that kind of a stuff, but I don't think this is quite a Weck jar. So anyways, looks like we're going to have to go to a different store. So let's go grab our raspberries and then we'll pop over and look at the jars. I thought they were out of raspberries, but I did find them, so I grabbed myself 2 packs and then headed home to get this casserole started. Sorry for the angle. We're headed back because we could not find the jars. I need to get this video done today because this is going to be dinner for us tonight. Part of dinner for us tonight, and so I need to get this recipe video done, and it's already 3 o'clock, so we need to get home, and I will source the jars afterwards, or I will source the jars tomorrow. Who would have thought finding jars would have been so difficult? Alright guys, this is what you're going to need for this recipe. You're going to need a lot of onions. You're going to need some frozen green beans, some frozen broccoli, some potatoes, some Philadelphia, some whipping cream or cream, ghee, and butter. And you're also going to need some onion powder and some garlic powder. You're also going to need some of these crispy onions for the end. Okay, the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your onions started caramelizing because that takes a while. And then we will do the potatoes. And I will have exact ingredients listed down below, like the actual recipe listed down below. I'm also planning on doing a recipe website, and once I get that up and going, I will list all of these things on my website so that you guys can have easy access to them, but it's just not up yet. And I'm a one-man lady show. I'm a one-lady show, not man. There's no man helping me with this show. I'm a one-lady show, and so it's taking me a while to get everything up and going, but we are staying pretty consistent with posting, which is huge for me, and so we're going to take it as a win. So let's get going on our onions, and then we'll take you through the whole process. If you're not a big onion lover, you don't have to do this many, but I love onions. If anybody has a tip or trick to cut onions and not like cry, I would greatly appreciate it. It was brutal. All right, so here we have 8 onions, and we're going to slowly caramelize these into perfection. Okay, I've got a little ghee in the pan, and we're just going to transfer these onions right into there. Okay, then we are going to transfer these to the stove. Turn it on to a very low heat. I'm only gonna go like 3, that's it. We're gonna go at 3, and we're gonna let the ghee kind of melt and have this start warming up, and then we will just keep turning it and caramelizing it and caramelizing it. Oh, forgot we need some salt. The salt helps it to sweat out a bit. So I'm gonna stick some mineral salt on, and now we are going to start slowly cooking down our onions. The next step is the potatoes. You're going to peel these and slice them very, very thinly. Sorry about my family. They're yelling in the background. They're getting ready to go to the pool. All right, we've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 medium potatoes, which we are going to we are going to slice these very thin. You can do whatever thickness you want to slice your potatoes, but this is what I decided to go with, and I really think it turned out well. Then you're going to want to grab your baking dish of choice. This is one I've gone with. And then grab some ghee and break it up into the bottom of the dish. You don't want to go crazy with it, but you also want the potatoes to not stick to the bottom of the pan or the tray or whatever it is you chose to bake your potatoes in. Now, there's no rhyme or reason to how I'm laying these on the bottom of this pan. I just put them in there however and just kind of covered the bottom with them. And then you want to add some cream, and you want to not go crazy with it, but you want about that much. You see how that looks right there? That's what you want it to look like. And then I'm going to add the rest of the potatoes on top of the cream that we just poured in, and this will bake and get all ooey and gooey and delicious and really make those potatoes nice and tender. And then you're going to want to take broccoli, frozen green beans, Philadelphia cheese, and you're going to want to mix that all up with some onion powder in a bowl. And then you're going to also put some garlic powder in a bowl. You can salt this layer if you want. I didn't, and I think it turned out fine, but if you want to salt it, then by all means go ahead and salt this layer. You can taste it. It's nothing going to make you sick, so you can go ahead and taste the cream cheese if you want to at this point. I was caramelizing these onions up, and I wanted to put a little bit of olive oil in there because I didn't want too much ghee or buttery flavor. I think it's already got enough, so I did add a little bit of olive oil as a side note, just so that you're aware that I did that. And then once they were really caramelized, like as you can see here, I added those caramelized onions to my frozen vegetables and Philadelphia, and then I added about a cup of cubed cheddar cheese. It was probably about a cup and a half, to be honest. And then I just mixed that all up together, and once that was incorporated, I added that mixture to the potatoes that we had, and then I smushed that all down. Sorry I didn't get a clip of me putting these on the potatoes. I thought I did, but I didn't, but you get the point. So the potatoes are in there with the cream. You've put this mixture on the top, and then you're going to put it in and bake it with a lid over the top. Get it out and then test the potato at the bottom. You can see these aren't quite done. So I went ahead and I put the lid back on, and then I popped them back into the oven to bake again. And I baked it for a total of about an hour. All right, we're back in the car. I'm running to the shops for my husband for something really quickly, and I started thinking about it. I can't do the raspberry dessert because I need to get this video up and posted tomorrow morning by 7 a.m. and this dessert needs to be in the freezer overnight, so it's just not gonna work. But I'll put this recipe in my next bulk freezer meal video, which should be coming out next week, so you don't have to wait that long for it. It is so good, and I hope you guys try it. It was a complete accident that I made this recipe, but I will definitely make it again and again because it was so good. Anyways, I'm gonna run to the shops, and then hopefully those potatoes will be done when I get back, and then we'll top them with some fried onions that I showed you guys, and then I'll put it back into the oven, let it get kind of caramelized a little bit more, and then devour. Okay, when I got home from the shops, I went ahead and checked the potatoes. You move a bit of the casserole off the top, and then you pierce it, and if it goes through and it's nice and buttery soft like that, then you're good to go. Mix up the toppings and then taste a little tiny bit of the casserole at this point. You want to check for salt. It's very important at this point. So that's what I did, and it did need a little bit of salt. So I added a little bit of salt, and then I mixed that up on the top, being careful not to disturb the layer of potatoes at the bottom. That kind of keeps it uniform later. And then once it was good with salt, I went ahead and I added the fried onions on the top, and then I popped it back into the oven, and then I baked it only for another 5 minutes just to crunch up those onions. And then I had to take this outside so you guys could get a good view of it. We were quickly running out of daylight. So here's the final shot of the casserole. It is so delicious. I would recommend trying this during the holidays, whenever you're spending that time with your family and you just want something extra special. I hope you guys really enjoy it. All right, guys, that's it for the video. I'm gonna go ahead and get my plants watered up, and then I will see you guys the next time. Bye.